Alright guys, we're in downtown Frederick here on Beard and Friends, and I'm on my way to the Civil War Medicine Museum. Basically just you know, all the different medicines. I don't know what to expect. Never been here before. First time in downtown Frederick, Maryland. And join me, friends. We're going to take an adventure. First adventure is finding the damn place, but pretty sure it's somewhere down here. Alright folks, so we finally made it to the National Museum of Civil War Medicine. This ought to be fun. Downtown Frederick. And let's go check it out. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the tour starts here. Pretty neat. Civil War soldiers tending to somebody who's wounded. Alright, what do we got over here? Oh, that's pretty neat. Biting the bullet, anesthesia, surgical tools. Oh, look at that, I got a human hand in there. Became a soldier or sent home. And up there. This is a wall that tells you who they became. Became a soldier. Big drum. Boom bomb. Civil War bugle. Oh, look at this room. Ain't that something? Saddle. I want to thank you guys for joining me today, friends. I appreciate it. This stuff isn't so much for me to talk about, but just to give you guys a view of this nice museum that we found. I want to thank the Instagram gentleman, whoever I inquired about this museum, and they sent me a message. They said, come check us out. And here I am. There's some blood-soaked rags. They look like socks, actually. You guys can't see them that good, but they're in there. Some bags. There's a gurney. An old bed. And ambulance guys, man. This is how, when you got taken out in the Civil War, Kind of creepy, isn't it? That's how they would take you out. You got shot and hurt, they would take you out in that.
This gentleman here,
This
the
gentleman,
artist who did all the mural work in the building.
and he put himself in it.
Yes, he did. But look, just a common foot soldier, no delusions of grandeur. Could have made himself a general.
He was an artist, he wasn't.
Yeah. So this is our ramp down to camp life, and camp life was actually a deadlier place to be than the battlefield.
Really?
2/3 of the soldiers who die in this war die of a disease.
Yeah.
And that happens mostly in camp because they are just unsanitary little hellholes. And the diseases catch up. And we have a figure down here of nearly 45,000 Union soldiers whose official cause of death is death by diarrhea.
Well, that's definitely no way to die.
No. And they don't give you medals for that either. That figure is on this panel over here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
It's just the unhealthy living conditions in camp, and the fact that at the time of the Civil War, germ theory was unknown.
Yeah.
So these soldiers are getting sick, and the doctors don't know what to do because they don't know why they're getting it.
That's fantastic. Death by diarrhea. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any little bit of history, you know, you learn something new every day, so.
Well, you just told us.
As long as we're in this gallery, let me tell you a little history about the building. The building went up in 1832, and it was a furniture manufacturer's establishment. Mr. James Whitehill was the owner at the time, in 32. When the Civil War was fought, the Battle of Antietam, just to the northwest of us, Frederick became the city in which the hospitals were established for that battle. Churches, civic buildings, 30+ buildings became hospitals. This building, owned again by Mr. Whitehill, he made and sold furniture on the ground floor. On this floor here, he had an undertaking establishment because coffins are just a different kind of furniture, so the two went hand in hand. Traveling with the Union Army at Antietam was Dr. Richard Burr, who was a battlefield embalmer. He came down to Frederick with the wounded. He needed a place to set up shop because it was realized that not every soldier was going to survive his wounds. The most logical place for him to set up shop was in a building that was already established as an undertaking establishment. So for about 6 months following the Battle of Antietam, Dr. Richard Burr occupied space on this floor of the building.
Wow.
Very close to where we're standing right now. The building went back a few more feet, but was lopped off to accommodate the construction of the parking garage. This is as close as you get to where Dr. Burr did his embalming work. Which leads me to one final, and you get to meet Dr. Burr. He's downstairs as a wax figure. But one final story that's just fun to tell. One day, this was a number of years ago, a young lady worked for the museum. She was the first one in the door. She was the only one working that morning. So she comes in, the first thing she does is she makes a physical tour of the building to make sure that the building is ready for its first visitors. Then she goes back down to the lobby and sets up her drawer at the cash register, turns on the security cameras that you might have noticed back behind the registers, and she goes, no, no way. She comes back up because what she saw on the cameras, all these doors that had been closed when she came up to the gallery, because waiting for the visitors to open them up. On the camera, she saw that they were all open. In the 5 minutes between her standing here and getting back downstairs, something opened those doors. This building is considered the most haunted building in downtown.
Yes.
I believe that.
Yes, we did it, ladies and gentlemen.
One of the odd things that
That's really,
I was not eyewitness to this.
No, but I can imagine
So,
all the history
yeah.
and everything.
But yeah, it's just one of the
Awesome.
fun stories that surround the building.
Well, thank you, Richard.
Thank you for sharing.
Rich, thank you very much.
And you'll meet Dr. Burr as a wax figure down
Yeah,
there.
and if we see you down there,
If he
we'll
winks at you.
yeah.
Oh,
Let us know.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
that's a neat story. It was searching all those forests. You should look at the.
A lot of this is probably one of the better museums in a while that I've been to. That was a very nice gentleman who works here. That was completely unexpected. I didn't know he was going to give us that much information. That wasn't planned. But I'm glad he decided to talk to us. Phenomenal. So definitely going to try to give you guys as much as I can. Unfortunately, I got one battery. I charged it, but this is a very very cool museum down here in Frederick. I was not expecting. We went to a museum not long ago and it was okay. Nothing like this. I mean, this is, I highly recommend you guys come check this place out. I'll leave a link in the description for it for sure. All right, just made it down to the bottom floor. What are tended to the wounded. That's all they had. Just it's like a scene out of a movie. Some more bags. Yeah. Civil War. Anesthetics.
On the floor.
Pill bottles. I guess that's what they were. Gauze pads. Field dressings. So this guy wrote a letter to his mother. He's a soldier from the Union. So the field hospitals. Oh. Some pictures, amputations. That stuff will just get rolled up inside of you, end up in your bones, all kinds of stuff. Here's when they would have to take a bullet out of your leg, basically, or any part of your body. No anesthesia. You basically just lay there and chloroform. That'll knock you out. You see the guy basically has a knife and a saw. Not a very, sure not a very pleasant experience.
60,000 amputations.
60,000 amputations. Oh, this place is awesome. They really did a good job here with just cataloging all the stuff. And there's the hand. There it is, guys. That's an actual hand of a human being that was amputated. And these look like they're braces. Broken bones and splints. This is what they use to splint. You had a broken bone or needed a splint. Just pieces of wood. Like the floor I'm standing on right now.
This wasn't amputated. It was torn from the body.
Oh, it was torn from the body. Well, I can't. I'm running on an issue of battery.
Oh, I know.
But that's what I got you here for. Torn from the body. Either way, not a good thing. But that is a real hand, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, on to the next. Alright, we're going down Expedition again. Down the infamous hallway of something that has to do with the railroad, which everyone knows I like trains. Going to be having a video coming up soon on the Mall and Paul Railroad, hopefully. And a couple other trains. And here we enter another room. Look at this. Faces of the Wounded. Just tells you their name, what they had amputated or taken off, basically, when, the year. And can you imagine getting shot in the face like that? I mean, that just cannot be good. Let me put a little leaf there. And again, here's and it's so funny because as you see, a lot of this stuff, I mean, it just looks like tools and saws, and I mean, even like essentially like just knives. And these are what they were using to amputate parts off the body, cutters. That's all they had to work with. Let's see what these medicine bottles are over here. Look at that. All types of medicine bottles with all kinds of whatever in them. Opium, Dover powder, carb soda. Wow. And we enter our next room. And this must have been like the doctor. I'm just showing you guys. I don't have time to read all this step by step. But if you come here, that's what you can do. But basically, this would have been the scene of people getting amputated, getting fixed, basically recovery. The nurses would just look after everybody. And then try to get you well. And sometimes you lose an arm. There's a roundabout, roundhouse. I think so. Is that a train? No, it's a hospital. I don't know what that is. Scale model of Hamden Hospital. So that was a hospital, wasn't it? Looks like a roundhouse for a train. What do I know? Some more braces. Fracture box. So that's neat. So you would put your whole leg in there, and basically that's what you would, like how they have braces now. That's what you would put on, a whole box around your foot. Old crutch. There's an arm in formaldehyde. I'm gonna make our way over here. Flock coat. Bedpan. Feeding cups. Double boiler. Interesting. Another tea set. There's a scene at the hospital all the way in the back, what it would look like. Pillowcases. As we come to our next destination, floating hospital. When they had so many people that were sick, they had ships, hospitals. This depiction down here I was showing you earlier, this would be a train of railroad cars. And what they would do is basically all the sick people, they would just pile them on these railroad cars, and then on the way they would go. So they got a wheelchair in there. There's a ledger. Old wheelchair. Blankets. Give you guys a big broad perspective. That was raffled off.
They would raffle off blankets to support the wounded soldiers.
More tools, look like spoon, fork, knives. Do a little turn this way. It's just some medicines. Try to get the clear. So this would be like on a wagon. They would carry with them on a wagon. They needed to, I guess like an ambulance, essentially. We gotta go over here.
Medicinal herbs.
Herbs?
Like their medicine, herbs, and what they did.
Saffron, pomegranate, mayapple, squash root. This is a squash root. Ginger.
It's still used for us.
Skull cap. They used to put that in like those cigarettes. Horseradish and pink root.
It's a sedative.
Yeah. They didn't have modern medicine, so they had to basically use what they had, roots.
Horseradish was used to clear sinuses.
I would say horseradish still cleans my sinuses.
Pink root.
skull. Top of someone's head that was obviously shot.
There's our good Dr.
And there he is.
There he is.
So tell us about that's the gentleman that you were.
This was the battlefield embalmer who was traveling with the Union Army at the time of the Battle of Antietam. And he came down with the wounded and set up shop on the second floor of this building, which was already operating as an undertaker's establishment. Picture of our building in the 1880s when the ownership had transferred to Mr. C.C. Carty, but you can see underneath Carty's name, he kept the business, furniture and undertaking. And the advertisement that Burr ran in the local Frederick paper announcing where he would be setting up shop. I don't know if you've been following Private Bradford's story, but we have a happy ending to Private Bradford's story just before you exit back into the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Basically, this is a depiction of something he actually did. So there's the real photograph of Dr. Burr. And that's the depiction.
He lived to be 76 years old. Private Bradford.
It's another prosthetic. Temporary grave marker. And this is basically stuff just from 17 all the way up to modern day. Just some of the things they used.
Accelerated promising vaccine candidates through clinical trials. The Walter Reed Army Institute of Research is utilizing existing expertise and infrastructure to develop vaccines.
Very cool, man. This was definitely a very cool trip. I highly recommend you guys come out here. I'll finish out here. Look at these coffins. Holding coffin. Fantastic, guys. Well, hey, look. What better way to end a segment? This was a great museum, Civil War Medicine Museum, Frederick, Maryland. I'll leave a link for you guys. Thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed the little tour that I gave you all, and come check this place out. It's like $9 a person, and I mean, really, you just got to pay for parking with the meter. But other than that, I mean, it's worth it. So thanks, friends, for joining me, and I'll catch you guys later. Beard out.